guys, welcome to another episode of the Zeelicious cooking series. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 tips for highly effective cooking. Now, I have heard a lot of people say that cooking is such a daunting task and requires like a lot of energy, physical, manual energy, like you literally would have to sweat and put in your blood and all of that when you're cooking. And I beg to differ, guys. I think that cooking is actually one of the most relaxing, therapeutic activities to perform if you know exactly what you're doing. And so today I have decided to take it upon myself to come here and share with you some tips that can help you on your cooking journey so that you can make cooking look like a walk in the park. I have titled this video 10 tips for highly effective cooking. Let's get right into it, shall we? Before we go on, just a quick reminder that you can still pre-order a copy of my new cookbook, Winnie's Sizzling Selections. It's the only cookbook that you'll be needing to level up on your healthy eating journey this year, and it contains over 100 mouth-watering and delicious recipes. So click the link in the description box down below and go grab a copy for yourself, your family members, and your friends. And of course, I also release some ebooks to help you on your healthy eating journey as well. The ebooks are simply on smoothies and healthy snacking. The smoothie ebook has over 35 smoothie recipes, and the healthy snack ebook has over 25 healthy snack recipes. The smoothie and healthy snack ebooks are downloadable ebooks, and you can find all of these products on our website. The link will be in the description box down below. We also have our healthy meal plans available. We have a weight loss meal plan. We have a weight gain meal plan, a low carb meal plan, a detox meal plan, and a plant-based meal plan. We have some of them readily available on the website. So you guys just go to the description box, get the link, jump on the website and go shopping. You definitely will find a thing or two that you'll be needing to help you on your eating journey this year. Okay, so let's dive right back into this video, shall we? The very first tip for a highly effective cooking, guys, is to have an organized kitchen space. Now, one of the most stressful things is to try to cook a meal in a disorganized and scattered looking kitchen. I tell you guys, it's so stressful, and you may not even know that it's stressing you out, but trust me, just merely looking at the disorganized kitchen will get your stress level, literally shoot it off the roof. So one thing you need to do is ensure that regardless of the kind of space you have, kind of kitchen space you have, regardless of the size, just ensure that it is organized. Thankfully, we have a lot of containers and jars and cans and things that can help you have an organized kitchen. Put everything in its location. Your cutlery should be in a particular place. Pots should be all together in a particular place. Your plates should be in a particular place. Your napkins stored up nicely, washed and ironed and organized. Like, trust me guys, when you've allocated a space for every single thing in your kitchen, it makes it easier for you to navigate, which makes it super functional and literally will take the stress away, like cuckoo into the air. So please guys, make sure you have an organized kitchen space, okay? The second tip on my list would be for you to invest in functional kitchen appliances. Literally, guys, when you have these basic appliances in your kitchen, they make cooking look like a walk in the park, and you literally would actually look forward to cooking. Now, the 5 basic appliances that I think every and anyone should have would be a blender, a food processor, a refrigerator, a microwave, and an oven. These are the 5 basic appliances you need. Of course, there are other ones like a juicer, a toaster. There's a number of them, but the 5 basic ones that you can actually use, repurpose and reuse multiple times for different cooking processes and all would be the blender, the food processor, the microwave, the refrigerator, and of course an oven. So invest in these items, and I tell you that you would even literally look forward to going into the kitchen to prepare a meal, and they make it easy for you to actually walk through the processes of cooking easily and stress-free. We shot a video sometime last year where I shared some the must-have kitchen gadgets and appliances I think you should go watch that video after this one. I'm going to put a link in the description box down below so that you can check it out there, okay? The next tip on my list for highly effective cooking would also be to invest in functional, basic kitchen utensils. From your cookware to your dishware to your cooking spoons to everything, mixing bowls, all those little insignificant things that you may think are insignificant, but they help make cooking a breeze. So imagine something as there was a particular time I visited a place and they didn't have a mixing bowl. It was so stressful, like it really racked my nerves. Like I'm like, how come you don't even have a mixing bowl in this kitchen? And of course they didn't have an excuse, but I mean, why would anyone have a mixing bowl? So just invest in all of those basic stuff like a mixing bowl, the different cooking spoons, like your cooking tongue, your whisk, your slotted spoon, there's so many of them. So just all those things that you feel like may not be significant, but trust me, they go a long way in making cooking very easy. One of the utensils that I would actually mention right now would be the slotted spoon. For example, when you're frying and you are about to take out whatever it is from the oil without actually packing on a lot of oil, you use a slotted spoon that will help you drain out the oil from whatever it is you want to take out of the pan. A slotted spoon makes it so easy for you to do that. So again, I'm going to put a link to that video where I talked about some basic appliances and utensils that you must have in your kitchen, and you can go check it out for all of those details right there, okay? The next tip on my list would be to ensure that you have a well-ventilated kitchen. You don't want to be cooking your food in a stuffy kitchen. I actually even hear that cooking in a closed-off kitchen back-to-back continually can actually affect the pressure in your ears. I don't know how true that is, but I heard it, and ever since then, I've actually been very mindful of it. So I always ensure that, especially those who have air conditioners in their kitchen, sometimes you can get carried away and just leave the air conditioners on and you don't feel the heat. But then the kitchen just gets really choked up and stuffy. So ever so often, just open up your windows and let fresh air come in. Let that ventilation just go through and air up the entire kitchen. And of course, it actually even helps to have an air conditioning unit in your kitchen because it makes cooking easy. So imagine trying to chop or blend something and then you're sweating. It just makes things a lot stressful, and then you just want to run away from the kitchen. So it's important that you have an air conditioning unit in your kitchen if you can afford one. But ultimately, remember that you're supposed to ventilate the kitchen ever so often, okay? The next tip on my list would be plan. Now, planning is so duper important. From planning your meals to planning your cook times to planning your wash times, just plan everything ahead of time. Always ensure that you have the meals that your family or yourself would be eating on a particular day. Like, always know what it would be so you can plan ahead of time to purchase whatever it is you want to purchase and ensure that you have everything readily available. So for example, if you want to bake a banana bread for breakfast on a particular day, you want to know that already before that day so that you ask yourself, do I have the pan that I need? Do I have the parchment paper that I need? Do I have the baking spray? Is my oven in good condition? You have to plan ahead of time so that it's easy for you to make the actual meal on the actual day. I tell you guys, it literally takes the stress away from you. The next tip on my list would be to prep, guys. Ingredient prepping, meal prepping. There's some things that you can prep in bulk. I have some videos on how you can prep some ingredients that you use quite often, like your onions, your pepper. We know sometimes we start some of our recipes by sauteing some onions in some oil, instead of always having to chop onions every time you have to cook. You can just do a big batch of chopping the onions and then save it up in the freezer. Same thing with the peppers. You can blend up a big batch of tomatoes and tatashe so you have a base for your tomato stew or for your jollof rice or your pasta or anything you want to make. It has tomatoes in it. So just prep all of those ingredients ahead of time and just store them up. And then when it's time for the actual cooking, I also think it's advisable to have pre-cooked meat in your freezer. So wherever you want to make a thing like soup and stew, you know, you can literally spend only 20 to 25 minutes making your soups if you already have your meat cooked up and stored up in the freezer. So prepping is actually something else. And then when it's time to make the actual meal, it's always advisable to prep all of the ingredients you'll be needing and layering it out on the countertop. So bring out your curry powder, bring out the thyme, bring out the pepper, bring out the salt, bring out everything you need and lay it out on the countertop before you start the actual cooking process. Because that way you literally will eliminate every form of confusion. You would eliminate running here and there, like your food is burning and it needs this and you're running to look for the salt. You can't find the salt, you can't find the pepper. That also happens when you have a very disorganized kitchen, guys. So ensure that your kitchen is very organized so that you know where everything is. And with one hand reach, even in the dark, you can pick and grab whatever it is that you need. So prep, guys. Very, very important. Okie dokie. The next tip on my list for highly effective cooking would be for you to restock. Remember to restock. Sometimes you get done with some kitchen items or kitchen ingredients. You might have exhausted your seasonings, your spices. Something might have finished, your cinnamon might have finished, and you actually need cinnamon to make something a particular day. And then when you want to reach, you find, oh, it's done. So always remember to take account of what is finished and remember to purchase it from the supermarket so that on the day that you want to cook, you will not surprise yourself, because that can actually stress a person out and you do not want any form of stress, okay? So remember to restock, okay? The next tip on my list for highly effective cooking will be for you to clean as you go. You guys, I cannot overemphasize the importance of cleaning as you go. Don't leave the mess till the end of the cooking process. I tell you, you will feel so frustrated and you will feel so freaking tired, and you might end up leaving your kitchen in that messy state because you're like, I beg, I cannot come and kill myself and die. So immediately you're making a mess, wipe it off. Wipe it clean before you continue. If you use up a plate, wash it off immediately whilst you're cooking. Just wash it off immediately and keep it aside as long as you have, like, because when you're cooking, you actually have some free times to just do stuff here and there. So when you know that, okay, your attention is not needed on the food, you can just clean up around you. I, for one, for example, I really don't like a messy stovetop. When something as much as a drop of soup spills on my countertop, just be rest assured that I'm going to stop the cooking process, literally turn off the gas and wipe down the stovetop before I continue. I really hate it when I have a messy stovetop. And that same thing goes with everything else. If I use a bowl, if I use whatever, I want to clean it up first before I continue. It just makes my life a whole lot easier and it makes cooking very stress-free. And then of course, if you have kitchen assistants, you can just call them in at this time. This will be the best time for them to help you, assist you with the clearing of the used up dishes that you have, okay? The second to the last tip on my list for highly effective cooking is always have a dust bin handy. Have it close by. During cooking, you tend to use up a lot of things that you just want to trash. You don't want to have a messy area and you don't want to throw things off on the floor. It's very, 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 very stress-free when there's something handy for you to just throw whatever it is you want to throw. Now, what I do is there's a big dustbin I have for the kitchen. I don't bring that one close to where I'm cooking. What I just do is I pull out a nylon, just an empty nylon from maybe a nylon that I got from the grocery store or something, and I just put it on top of the countertop. So whenever I have something I want to throw away, I just put it in there. I keep accumulating it, and when I'm done, I just tie it up and put it in the bigger bin before I take it out of the house. That's a tip that I use. Instead of always having to run every time you want to throw something away, you run to the dustbin, and the dustbin might be far away from the kitchen area. And of course, you don't want to contaminate yourself with germs from the dustbin each time you have to go there to open it up to put stuff in. So it's very important that you have a bag or a bin or something handy that's clean whilst you're cooking. It makes the work a whole lot easier, okay? The last tip on my list is give enough time for you to cook your meals before meal time. I tell you guys, meals taste a lot better when you have taken your time to cook it, as opposed to when you have rushed to cook it. So you know the kids usually go to bed at 8 o'clock, for example, and at 7 o'clock you're still all over the place in the kitchen trying to get dinner sorted. Why not start dinner earlier? Why not start dinner an hour earlier so that you are not all rushy and like just moving all over the place trying to take marathon? I'm sorry. so that you're not just all over the place trying to get everything sorted. Like, by doing all of that, you're confusing yourself, you're putting yourself in a frantic state, and that's not okay. So always ensure that you have enough time to prep and cook your meals before the actual meal times. That way, everything is done with ease. You take your time, you chop the veggies in love, and then the meal comes out looking exquisite. Okie dokie. So please give yourself ample time to actually prepare your meals. Those are my top 10 tips for highly effective cooking. Do you think I missed out anyone? If you think so, please kindly share in the comment section down below. I want to hear from you, and I'm sure other people would want to hear from you, and so that we can all learn together as a community. Alright guys, I think my job here is done. If you like this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel and join our family. Remember, you can still pre-order my new cookbook, Winnie's Sizzling Selections, and of course our new ebooks as well, the ebooks on smoothies and healthy snacks. All the links will be in the description box down below, so be sure to check it out there, okay? Alright guys, I'll see you next time with another video. Until then, take care.